What's going on, everyone? Dottz here, and today I'm bringing you guys a channel update video. This channel update is going to cover three things. I'm going to cover where I've been and what's been going on with the medical emergency that I had, because if you haven't been following me on Twitter, Discord, if you don't see the YouTube community post, I had a bit of a medical emergency, so that's why I took a couple weeks off. So I just want to talk about that and update you guys on that. I figured it'd be easier to do it in a video than writing some post about it. And then I also want to do my 2020 review and 2021 preview. I typically do that at the end of the year, where I like to kind of go over and review the previous year, talk about what happened, and especially the 2020. I mean, F&A, dude. This was a year for a lot of people, and there were a lot of big changes to the channel this year. And I kind of want to just do like a little 2021 preview, but I'm going to timestamp this video just in case there's only like you only care about the preview, or you want to only hear about the medical stuff. I'm just going to timestamp this so that you guys know exactly what sections are going to go over what. So the first thing I want to talk about is the medical emergency. So if you didn't watch my stream, I did actually stream on 12/7. That is when this happened. So after my stream, I kind of, went and hung out with my wife a little bit. We're watching some TV before bed. That's typically what I do after my stream. I just go and unwind on the couch a little bit before I go to bed. And when I was sitting on the couch, was kind of just itching. I had like an itch on my forearm and was just itching it. And then I was like, all right, let's get up and go to bed. And when I started to, get ready to get up, I was like, man, why is my arm so itchy? And I looked down and my arm was covered in hives. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And so I looked at my other arm. My other arm was also covered in hives. Took off my shirt. My entire torso was covered with hives. And then upon looking at basically the rest of my body, I was basically covered head to toe in hives. Now, I know that I got this question at the hospital, and I'm sure I'm going to get this question I've got this question for everybody. Do you do anything new? Eat anything new? I did nothing new. Obviously I work from home because, content creation, obviously. And it's quarantine. So I have just been staying home. I haven't used any new detergents, no new soaps, no new foods, nothing new that would warrant like, oh my God, why am I suddenly covered in hives? Like literally nothing new. It was just a normal day, except for all of a sudden I was covered head to toe in hives. We were a little freaked out. I called like a medical hotline that I have through my insurance, and was kind of talking to the person on the phone, and they recommend, since we don't know what this is, you should go to the hospital. And so I went to the hospital, got checked out there. There was really nothing they could do for me to kind of find out what it was. They didn't run any tests. They just kind of gave me a steroid and gave me some antihistamines. In addition to what I just take on like a normal basis, and they sent me on my way. But they said that if this, happens again, to come back, and especially like if it comes back on my face. And 12 hours later, it happened again. Except for this time when I got the hive flare up this time, because I went to bed, like I got home so late, like we went like 3 a.m. We didn't get home till 6 a.m. I slept until like 11. When I woke up, the hives were gone. I was like, okay, that was weird. But things seem to be okay. And then we went back like at nighttime, like I'd say probably around 9. The hive started to come back, except for this time it was all over my neck and face. Like my lips were like hard to the touch. They were so swollen. And we were like, well, this is creepy. Let's go back to the hospital again. This is what they said to do. So we went back to the hospital. That visit was less than stellar, but I won't get into the minutia of that. But basically, it was the exact same shit as what happened earlier that morning. They was like, we don't know what's going on. There's nothing we can do for you. More steroids, more antihistamines, bam, set me on my way. Now, at this point, no idea what's causing this. I had some theories that, if you guys have been following me for a long period of time, you know that my house, unfortunately, has a bad history of when it really rains a lot of getting water damage. And so I was a little concerned that maybe there was mold growing around where I stream in my general area around where I work. And I'm down, in that area for long periods of time. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm breathing in mold. And so I was like, we're going to try something. We went to my parents' house for a couple days. We then went to my in-laws for a couple days. And unfortunately, while being there, it didn't fix it. Like, I was still had hives on the 9th. I still had hives on the 10th. And things started to get better around that Friday, the 11th. So like the 11th, 12th, and 13th is when I actually started to notice improvements. The hives started to go away, but my body was just like hot. And it was like the way it would work is like I'd wake up, I'd feel fine. Then like lunchtime would roll around and I'd start feeling like shit. Take a Benadryl. I would start to feel better. I mean, I was tired, but I started to feel better. And then around the nighttime came, and that's when I started to feel really crappy. And that's when I took all the prescriptions that they gave me at the hospital. And so things they started to improve. And then earlier, like the 13th or the 14th. So this Monday, this past Monday is when things really kind of started to improve. And I just kind of have been generally feeling like under the weather, like, you know how you feel when you're just generally sick and under the weather. And that's just kind of how I've been feeling for the last couple of days, which is also part of the reason that I obviously took last week off because of the hives and we were still trying to figure out what the hell this could be. And then this week I've just felt just generally shitty. And so I was like, I need a week, like I need another week off to just like relax and just let my body just kind of chill. Made an allergist appointment for today, the 18th. Actually, I got back not too long ago. I had it this morning. And thankfully though, the allergist was able to shed a lot of light on what this was. Ironically enough, he said that the fact that the allergic reaction lasted or what seemed to be an allergic reaction, right, with the hives and everything. The fact that it lasted for such a long time is actually a good sign. He said it would have been actually worse if it was like a quick flare up and then it went away, because that would have indicated that, okay, I ate something or interacted with something that I'm highly allergic to. And then once I was pulled away from that source, it went away. And that's not what really happened in this case. The fact that I didn't eat anything different. I tried to even a day of totally like, I just ate like the cleanest ever and like stayed away from all common food allergies and like things that you could be allergic to. And I still got hives that day. I went to my parents' house, which their house is obviously not mine. And so that was in a different environment. And so it was just, the doctor was like, I don't think it's an environmental thing. I don't think it's a food thing. So to me, it says it's more like of an internal thing. And because again, it wasn't just like a quick fire, okay, you have hives and now you're taken away from the allergen. Now you don't. I don't think it's like I'm allergic to like anything, like I said, in my environment or the food. So I think most likely what we believe that it is that I have some sort of virus. I know everyone's going to be like COVID, but it's not COVID. I've been tested pretty recently and I did not have it. And so I have something in my system, whether I have a virus or an infection or something. I have something, and my body is releasing histamines as a way to respond. And it's creepy because I've been sick before. This has never happened, so this is a new one. So basically, what I am going to do to kind of solve this is, he's like, you just need to take more of your regular antihistamine until whatever your body is fighting passes, and the general histamine amount, like level in your body, just kind of goes back down, because like my body, like I said, is fighting something. So I just need to control the histamines in my body while it is fighting whatever it is fighting. So I take like some allergies every day, just because I have seasonal allergies, except for I have them all season, all four. So I'm basically just going to be doubling the amount of antihistamines I take every day, just until, for like a week, see if it gets better. If it doesn't get better, I'm going to increase it even further. And then from there, if it does not get better, then I need to go back to the doctor and get some blood work done. But honestly, this was really kind of like a best case scenario for me. I was really nervous if it was my house, because then I would have had to worry about trying to move. And I really don't want to move. I was nervous that it was a food and I'd have to just like change the way that I ate for the rest of my life. And so the fact that it's just like, oh, you just are sick and your body is just responding this way, it's really annoying and it sucks to feel like this, but it's not a big cause for concern, which is good. So I appreciate all the well wishes though from everybody on the community posts and on Twitter and on Discord. It really, really means a lot. But thankfully, and I'm happy to report to you guys that this is thankfully not a big deal. It's just really, really it's just shitty quality of life right now. So I'm hoping that the doubling up of the antihistamines will help, and that in like a week or two, this will be gone. But like I said, 1 week with double the amount that I normally take. And then if that doesn't help, I'm going to increase it again. And then if it doesn't help after another week, then I'm going to go back to the doctor, get some blood work done, and we'll go from there. But I will update you guys if anything happens on that front. But if you see no updates from me, then assume that everything is kind of gone back to normal. But With the health stuff out of the way, let's talk about. I'm gonna do like a little like immediate future. So like the rest of 2020, like my plan is that this upcoming week, you guys are still not gonna see any videos on YouTube. If you're a Patreon member or a YouTube member, you're going to get your early access at the end of this week like you normally do. And then the week of the 28th is when videos are going to start rolling out again. So patrons, you should expect your early access on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And then on the week of the 28th is when everybody else is going to start getting videos again, and then I'm going to start obviously releasing videos once again every week. Streams are going to resume obviously the week of the 21st, which is this upcoming week. Obviously, the schedule is going to be a little bit weird this upcoming week and next week because of the holidays. But then after that, we're going to go back to our normal 5 days a week, with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams being at nighttime, and the Tuesday and Thursday streams being during the day. So in terms of a 2020 review, though, what a year for Dottz Gaming it's been, though. Holy crap, man. This was probably my most tumultuous year of content creation ever. In terms of numbers, we did great this year. The Twitch channel did amazing this year. The YouTube channel did amazing this year. The website has been doing fantastic. And obviously all of that changed in June. So or no, not June. It was August, excuse me. So obviously, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know I obviously created a lot of content on the Elder Scrolls Online for a number of years. And in July, I decided to heavily change the direction of my content creation and move from the Elder Scrolls Online to World of Warcraft. I've posted about it on my community tab a couple of times. People still are asking me about it, so I just kind of wanted to address it here too. People have been asking me why I made that change, and basically, I love ESO. It's a great game, but the inherent problems that the game has were becoming too much for me to play it every single day. I was just getting really burnt out of the ping pong balancing, constant performance issues. I was just kind of growing tired of all the problems that people as ESO players deal with on a regular basis, and I was just not having fun anymore. I still play ESO. I still play ESO casually. And so when things do pop up, when bugs do occur, when lag happens, I'm not as like invested in it, and like my emotions aren't as affected because I don't play the game every day. I play it every once in a while. And so like if I have a laggy BG, it's really not a big deal. But if I have to stream, PvP or trials for 5 hours and I'm lagging for 5 hours and I need to also try to be entertaining, like it's tough, and I just kind of lost the passion for it. But I do want to make it abundantly clear. I do still play the game because I do keep the builds on my website, dottsgaming.com. I still do keep those completely up to date. I still test all the builds. I still play them. I just don't do them on YouTube or on Twitch. I just do it on my own time behind the scenes. So the website is still Elder Scrolls Online content. So if you've always liked my ESO content, you're still going to get it on my website, dottsgaming.com. But in July, or excuse me, I just said July before. In August, I decided to change directions and go back to World of Warcraft, which is what my YouTube channel was actually founded on, and go back to WoW with a very similar focus on what I did with ESO, which was beginner guide content and a combination of PvP. And I'm actually going to be even posting some PvE stuff too, because I am raiding and doing Mythic Plus as actually a Guardian Druid, and I'm tanking. I'm having a blast doing it. We actually had our first raid night with the guild, and we kicked ass. It's been going fantastically. I've only PvP'd a couple of times this week. I've only had 2 queue sessions with my 3s team, and so we're starting to get into 3s too. So you guys are going to see a wide variety of content on the channel, from, like I said, Mythic Plus dungeons, Guardian Druid content, Feral Druid content, beginner guides. So my plan moving forward is to move into World of Warcraft, and people have asked me why WoW, and it's because, like I said, I played WoW for like a really long time on and off before I played ESO. If you want to, there's a video on my channel called My History with World of Warcraft. You can watch that if you're so inclined, but I basically played WoW for a long time before I played ESO, and now I'm just going back to WoW because I'm very familiar with the game, played it for a while, and it's not like I'd be starting a new game on my channel that I have absolutely no experience with. And plus, I know some people were like, well, why didn't you do Guild Wars 2 or something else, like a different MMO? And I said that when I moved away from ESO as my primary game, I did not want to make a lateral move in terms of game size. I wanted to go to a bigger game so that the channel would have the opportunity to grow more, which is part of the reason, another reason that I chose World of Warcraft. So we're doing World of Warcraft content now here on the YouTube channel. We're streaming it on Twitch 5 days a week. And we are also making written content, again, on my website, dottsgaming.com, very similarly to what I do with my ESO content. All of the builds and guides that I do have written versions over on the website. So those are there if you do need to check them out. So speaking of World of Warcraft, we are now, the couple of months when I first swapped to WoW were rough, man. Holy crap, they were rough. And for all of you who are still subbed, who are still watching, I greatly appreciate that you still are. It was real, man, dude, that was a rough time period. I can't explain to you how weird it is to be like insulted and harassed for wanting to play a different video game. It was a very, very difficult time period for me. Like, you know, it was hard enough, just like, you know, with obviously the number change, I'm changing from one MMO to another. So like numerically, that's already going to be tough enough. But to also, you know, deal with some of the harassment that I dealt with when I first made the change, oh man, it was a bit tough on the mental state. I'm going to be honest, but things have kind of started to even out and they've started to get a lot better. And the YouTube video views are really starting to go up now. You guys have been loving those beginner overviews for the classes. The WoW Complete Beginner Guide is absolutely killing it. Twitch is even starting to slowly increase. It was starting to slowly increase in terms of concurrent viewers right before I got sick. So now I'm sure when I start streaming again on Monday, things are going to be a little bit lower than normal. But, you know, we'll get back to it in time. But it's really nice that after, I'd say, probably 3 or 4 months of just kind of eating crap, things are really starting to turn around. And now that Shadowlands is out, you know, the content's starting to get more views. And I think that now that I'm going to, you know, be recovered from being sick, that once we start hitting the videos again, start hitting the streams again, now that we're into the arena season, we're into raiding, into Mythic Plus, we're really going to start to see an increase in the numbers, which I'm very excited to obviously see. But I'm also just having a lot more fun. I have not enjoyed making content this much in probably a year and a half. It's been a really long time since I've been this happy playing games and making content. And it just feels good to be so happy again. And like I said, I appreciate all of your guys' support and all of that stuff very, very much. So just really thank you for those of you who've been sticking with me and have been, you know, still watching the videos. And for those of you who are newer to the channel as well, I appreciate you you watching, and I'm glad you're enjoying everything so far. But in terms of 2021, what is the plan? So basically my plan for next year is to kind of just continue trying to establish myself as a WoW content creator and really kind of complete the switch from ESO to World of Warcraft as my primary game, with obviously ESO being a secondary game on my website. But I don't really have a ton of like, you know, typically if you've watched me again and watched me for a while, you know, I like to set a lot of numerical goals to try to hit and strive for each year. But honestly, while I do have some, my biggest goal for next year is to just kind of get things back to where they were before I made like my change of pace. And I think we're like going to be able to do that pretty quickly into 2021. And so that's kind of my goal, is to just kind of really have been fully changed over and fully immersed into WoW and affiliated and associated with World of Warcraft. Obviously, I know there's always going to be some ESO on my channel. I mean, I am still making content about it. I am still doing it on my website. So it will always still be there. But my goal is to have the main game that I am associated with be WoW. And that's really my goal for next year. And in terms of content, what you can really expect, on stream, you can expect, you know, obviously my normal weekly stuff. You can expect 3s, you can expect 2s, you can expect Mythic Plus. You typically will not see raiding on stream, maybe once in a while, but not very often. Raiding and streaming at the same time, especially since I am a raid lead, definitely not the easiest thing to do. You know, there's enough to pay attention to with the raid, so trying to also pay attention to chat can also be difficult. But you might see it from time to time. Like, I actually think I'm going to be streaming Monday's raid. We're going to be doing a second raid night on 12/21. So I think I might be streaming the raid that night. But in general, you probably won't be seeing the raiding. But really, you're going to expect the rest of the in-depth beginner class guides for the rest of the classes in World of Warcraft. And then from there, you can expect guides on Feral Druid for PvP, Guardian Druid for PvE. You can expect, if I end up doing any really high keys on my Guardian Druid, you can expect gameplay clips of those. You can expect 3's content, 2's content, just a ton of gameplay on top of supporting guides for what's it called, for my class that I'm playing, which is the Druid. I also do plan on eventually doing maybe a PvP arena guide series. That is something that I have always wanted to do, but I am obviously not going to be doing that quite yet because I need to get a much better at arena myself before I start making a guide series on how to actually improve at it. So it is something that I want to do in the future, but I need to obviously work on my own personal skill level first before I do something like that. I do want to do the arena game breakdowns. If you watch me with Elder Scrolls Online, you know I broke down my battlegrounds. I want to do the same thing with arenas. I did that a little bit at the end of BFA, so I want to do stuff like that. Maybe strats against arena comps, maybe some tier list discussions, some specific Feral and Guardian Druid guides like I mentioned. I plan on possibly making a daily routine video for Shadowlands, how to gear, beginner's guide to combat, just a bunch of guides I have planned and some video ideas. But in general, we're just going to be doing tons of WoW content, and as we come up with new ideas, we're going to be deploying them on the channel. But I'm going to be doing a lot of gameplay and not just solely guides. That was one thing with ESO, is I was mainly guides. And with WoW, while I do want to do guides, I want to focus a lot on gameplay too. Gameplay videos are fun to make. I'm able to kind of take moments from my stream and clip them down and edit them into really fun videos for YouTube. And so that is something that I want to do a little bit more going into 2021. I don't just want to do guides. I want to do guides and gameplay and try to kind of have both of those be pillars of my content. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, man. 2020 was it was a year, man. Holy crap. Just between COVID, obviously, between just everything in the world, stuff with the channel, it was just a hectic year. It was a crazy year. I got married earlier this year too, which was pretty awesome, obviously. It's I got married in February, and then it was after February, March, just the lockdown hit, and it's just been bleh from there. But you know what? Even though this year was tough, even though this year was hard, I really learned a lot about myself this year. I really feel like going into 2021, I am not just going to be playing a game for the sake of numbers and views. I'm playing a game now that I like, that I enjoy, that makes me happy. And I am really excited and confident about the new direction that the channel is heading in. But I also just want to, before I close this video out, I want to extend a massive thank you to obviously all of you, because for those of you who do not know, this was my first year 100% full-time as a content creator. I was part-time content creation, part-time job before COVID. But when COVID happened, I lost the part-time job, and that part-time job became freelance work. And so I was basically just thrown into full-time content creation, and, it was kind of sink or swim, and we swam. And I just cannot thank you all enough for using the website, for watching the videos, for purchasing stuff through my affiliate links, for giving sponsors a chance. Just thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I've never thought in a million years I would actually be here. And the fact that we are is insane. And I cannot wait to see what 2021 has in store for us as a community. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you all have been well during the time that I've been away. I've missed you all very much. And I'm looking forward to not only seeing you all on stream on Monday, twitch.tv/Dottz Gaming. We'll be live at about 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then after that, so on the 28th, you can start expecting videos to come back. But again, if you are a Patreon, if you're a patron or a YouTube member, you will see them late next week. So thank you all so much for stopping by. Very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one.